Hey, Mahal everyone. Welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I'm your host 40 and we are back with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, the global version of Dissidia Opera Omnia. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the upcoming Chapter 8, A New Island. Now, the reason why I feel like Chapter 8 is the upcoming new piece of content that Global is going to get is because this past week, after getting the Kryl event, we kind of had a dry spell in terms of events. We didn't get a new summoning event, we didn't get a new character event, we didn't get a new multiplayer co-op event, and we didn't get a new random event such as like the Kefka stickers. So I feel like, especially with the way they schedule the maintenance, it's probably gonna be Chapter 8. However, if they decide to release Snow to us, then that's gonna be the next piece of content that we get. But definitely I feel like it's gonna be Chapter 8, and that's what everybody else's speculation is as far as the different communities that I'm a part of for Dissidia Opera Omnia. So, with moving forward with that, we're gonna go ahead and talk about what to expect and the details for Chapter 8. So, just like with any other chapter, we're gonna get a new story, we're gonna get 3 new characters, that seems to be the norm for these chapters. We're gonna get a new weapon summon banner, we're gonna get a new summon, and we're gonna get new enemies and bosses. On top of that, Chapter 8 has 21 total story missions, 17 side missions, 2 extra missions, 6 character missions which feature Cyan or Xian. I'm not sure what's the exact pronunciation of his name, but if you guys know, let me know in the comment section below, but it's either Cyan or Xian and Papalimo. And then some of the gate missions that we're gonna have to be accomplishing are unlocking Squall, Setzer, and Vanille, which is great for us because we did get the lost chapters for them, leveling Terra and Shadow to level 20, and leveling Ida and Ishtola to level 20. So those are going to be the gate missions for Chapter 8. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the characters that we're going to be getting in the order that we get them. So the first one is going to be Cyan or Xian from Final Fantasy VI. Again, I'm not sure what the entire pronunciation of his name is. If you guys know, let me know. His role is going to be a physical melee attacker. His crystal affinity is blue. Speed Tear, he's definitely going to be slow. Those are going to be his stats for level 1 and level 50 and level 50 crystal level. The ones that really stick out to me as far as being low is just his Max Brave. His Max Brave is probably his lowest stat. On top of that, everything else seems to be pretty good for him. And the kind of character that he is he utilizes stances, and then after he uses those stances, he activates his actual offensive abilities. So they really made him to be like a samurai of old, where a samurai kind of like focuses and like holds their katana in their sheath, and then after focusing they unleash their attack, which I think is really cool. So his first ability is Concentration Fang, which raises his brave by 50% of his initial brave and grants him the concentrate stance along with small speed up for 4 turns, and it has a low action delay. His ability 2 is Concentration Dragon, which again does the same thing, raises his brave by 50% of its initial brave. It also grants him the same concentration stance along with this time a small max brave up for 4 turns, and it also has a low action delay. Now, upon achieving the concentration stance, he has 2 different offensive abilities that he's able to do. The first one is Bushido Fang, which is a one-hit brave attack that ignores defense, and it requires the concentration stance. So for him to use this, he needs the concentration stance, and it ignores defense, which means that no matter how many times the enemy buffs up their defense, Cyan's ability is going to ignore it, because that's the special trait of it. And then his concentration ability 2 is Bushido Dragon, which is a one-hit brave plus HP attack, so it's a hybrid ability. It ignores defense, and it also heals Cyan based on the damage dealt for up to 15% of his max HP. Now, this also, again, requires the concentration stance. So, a very interesting character. I feel like what really hurts him, though, is not only the low max brave, but also being of the slow speed tier, and then also he needs to set up. So he definitely needs to be able to set up before he uses his actual offensive abilities, which he's kind of like Yang, except I hate to say it, but he's worse. But you know, I could be wrong on that. If you guys feel like he's going to be better than Yang, let me know in the comment section below, but that's how I feel like he is. But other than that, he's pretty cool, he's unique, and I'm definitely going to be building him up and using him. Next character we're going to be getting is Poeple from Final Fantasy XIV. His role is going to be a fire, ice, magic attacker. His crystal affinity is red, and his speed tier is actually, he's pretty fast, which I'm pretty surprised by that. Taking a look at his stats, both for level 1 and level 50, the only one that really sticks out to me as being low is his max brave. His max brave is probably the lowest stat, so you can definitely alleviate that by gathering the artifacts for him for max brave. But other than that, his stats seem pretty good. He has 2 abilities. His ability 1 is Astral Fire, which is a one-hit magic brave fire attack. It grants the Astral Fire stance for 3 turns, and it removes the Umbral Ice stance. And then Astral Fire stance raises his max brave and attack. His ability 2 is Umbral Ice, which is a one-hit brave plus HP attack. So we have a hybrid attack for Poeple. It grants him the Umbral Ice stance for 3 turns and removes Astral Fire stance. And then the Umbral Ice stance raises his initial brave and grants him brave regen. So the way I see him is that he has 2 different stances, fire and ice, fire being the more aggressive one and ice being the more defensive one. So pretty unique. I like him. He's pretty cool. And then the last character, which is what everybody is super hyped for Chapter 8, Final Fantasy XIII star, Lightning, aka Claire. Spoiler alert if you guys haven't played Final Fantasy XIII, the reason why I'm calling her Claire. She's going to be a physical attacker. Her crystal affinity is yellow. It looks like I didn't put her speed tier, but her speed tier is definitely fast. Taking a look at her stats, where she kind of lacks is HP. She's a bit squishy at 3,859 at crystal level 50 and level 50 and also her defense is kind of low. But other than that, I mean, she's kind of like a glass cannon type of a character, so I can see why they designed her stats like that. She has 2 abilities, Spark Strike and Flourish of Steel. So we're gonna take a look at those. So Spark Strike is a 3-hit physical lightning brave attack. It grants her the Ravager stance for 3 turns and removes Commando stance. The action delay is lowered if the target is broken by this ability, and the Ravager stance raises her, Lightning's max brave and speed. And then Flourish of Steel is a 3-hit brave plus HP attack, grants her the Commando stance for 3 turns, and removes Ravager stance. The action delay again is lowered if the target is broken, and then this particular stance, the Commando stance, raises max brave and attack. So Flourish of Steel is a bit more offensive, whereas Spark Strike is a bit more on the speedy defensive side. So what I'm seeing with these 3 characters being introduced to Chapter 8 is they're definitely very stance oriented. So they do something and then they change their stance and then they do something else with that stance. So pretty unique. I like it. Lightning is definitely going to be the jackpot of these 3 characters. Upon looking at her, she's definitely like another Tidus, especially when you're breaking the enemy with her abilities because of the low action delay, meaning she can act first. What she definitely lacks, obviously, debuffs, but it doesn't really matter because she's going to be hitting hard, especially with that fairly high attack stat and the high max brave attack. So definitely build her up. A lot of people are hyped for her. I'm hyped for her as well, so get ready for Lightning to be hitting us very, very soon. Now, we're going to be getting a banner, obviously, for Chapter 8, and in Japan, the banner featured 2 35 CP weapons for Lightning and Poeple. So we're going to be, hopefully, if the banner stays the same, we're going to be getting the 5-star 35 CP Flamberge for Lightning. So the Flourish of Steel and Commando Stance potency is going to be increased for this. It further lowers the action delay when Lightning breaks an enemy, so very, very nice. Again, she's very similar to Tidus. She's also going to be getting her 15 CP Blaze Fire Saber. So Spark Strike and Ravager Stance potency is increased, and this time it also grants her a medium attack up for 3 turns. So it overall increases her DPS. And she's also going to have access to her 4-star 20 CP Aurora Scarf. Those are the details right there if you happen to pull that. The next character that we're going to be getting is a 5-star 35 CP Stardust Rod for Poeple. Umbral, Ice, and Stance potency increased and duration extended. And then we're also going to have access to this 5-star 15 CP Anathema. And it's going to, Astral Fire and Stance is going to have its potency increased and duration extended. He's also going to have his 4-star 20 CP Militia Robe available to us. And then finally, the last character. Unfortunately, in Japan, with this banner, he didn't get his 35 CP, but he did get his 15 CP, which is his 5-star 15 CP Ashura for Cyan or Xian. Bushido Fang potency increase, Brave gain up of Concentration Fang, and Concentration Stance and Small Speed Up increase in potency and their duration is extended. So that's pretty nice for his 15 CP weapon passive. And then he's also going to have access to his 4-star 20 CP Power Sash, which gives him max Brave plus 220. Now we are going to have access to a new summon. It's going to be the brothers. So these summons actually debuted in Final Fantasy VIII to my recollection. So it's pretty cool that we're going to be getting them in Chapter 8 for Dissidia Opera Omnia. Their element is Earth. So their blessing raises the max Brave by 5% when HP is greater than 80%. Grants us 500 physical Earth Brave damage, as well as giving the party the Earth attribute. Their summoning speed is going to be the same as Ifrit, Ramu, Shiva, moderately slow at the beginning. 5 turns, and then max Brave bonus 1000. And then the noteworthy bosses to encounter for Chapter 8, which is going to be finishing off my discussion for Chapter 8, is we're going to be seeing Dark Bahamut, which is pretty cool. I remember Dark Bahamut from Final Fantasy IV when we enter the moon, when we fight Zeromus, so it's pretty cool that we're going to be getting Dark Bahamut. We're also going to be seeing Garland, the main enemy from Final Fantasy I. We're going to be seeing Marlith. Now, something about Marlith. So when I first made my Ferris video, I said that the Lamia Queen was the same as Marlith. I was actually wrong about that, so I apologize for that. So we're actually going to be seeing Marlith making her debut in Opera Omnia here in Chapter 8 for Global. She is the Fire Fiend from Final Fantasy I, so it's cool to see her. And then we're going to be seeing Sekret, which is one of the brothers summoned from Final Fantasy VIII as a boss. So these are going to be the noteworthy bosses to encounter. Alright guys, so upon doing this discussion for the upcoming Chapter 8, let's go ahead and take a look at some gameplay for Chapter 8 with the Dissidia Opera Omnia JP account that I have. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright guys, we are back following the discussion for the upcoming Chapter 8 for the global version of Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. As you can see right here, showing you guys some live gameplay from my JP account, just to give you guys a visual. There are 2 different parts to Chapter 8. One on the left side is going to be like a fire, volcano, mountain, sort of a stage. It's paying homage definitely to Marlith, who is the Fire Fiend from Final Fantasy I, as we know that she is going to be a boss in this chapter. And then the right side is going to have what looks to be a crystal tower. You know, as we all know, with some of the older Final Fantasies, crystals is like the main cause of the problem. So pretty cool that they're bringing that to Opera Omnia, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at one of the stages here. So the party that I will be taking is Lightning, Papalimo, and Cyan or Xian. I will be using the brother summon, just, you know, because they are the new characters and new summon that we get for Chapter 8. And then taking a look right here, the bosses that we're going to be facing looks to be Garland. So let's take a look at Garland. Looks like Garland himself doesn't have any resistances, which is pretty nice. So that way we don't have to worry about weaknesses or resistances or anything like that. And then afterwards, the boss that I'm very excited about is Dark Bahamut. So as we can see right there, Dark Bahamut resists every single element, which is a little scary. But however, he doesn't resist different attack types. From playing around with the JP version of the game, the attacks that you want to look out for that Dark Bahamut does is Flare Star and Mega Flare. What he does with both of those attacks is he grants himself some Brave, and then he does a multi-Brave hit to the entire party, and then finishes with an HP attack. So he's always going to be dealing HP damage, so just be prepared for that. Generally, I would recommend, if you have Aiko built up, to bring Aiko for this fight to be healing your party. But for the purposes of this video, because this is all about Chapter 8, I want to bring the Chapter 8 characters. And then he also does something called Cure and Flare, and those are his counter abilities. So he's going to use Cure after you use a summon. So if I use my brother's summon and that finishes, he's going to counter by healing himself. He's going to heal his HP, and then he's actually going to hit us with either with Flare Star, I believe. And then afterwards, if you hit him with a Magic Brave attack, so for example, we have Papalimo, who is a Magic Brave DPS user, he's going to counter that character with Mega Flare, which is a single target Brave attack. So just keep that in mind. This fight can be a little tricky, but it's going to be really fun, and it does pay homage to Dark Bahamut from Final Fantasy IV, for those of you old school Final Fantasy players, which is really cool that they're doing that. So, alright. Let's see. So we're going to take... I don't want to take a new character that we haven't seen yet. We're going to take Squall, even though this Squall is level 60 and could probably burst down both of these bosses. Alright, here we go. So, looks like the first mob, we're going to have some mannequins in the form of Squall and Warrior of Light. Pretty cool that we get to see them. I won't be using abilities yet. Ooh, he looks like he did solid barrel there. Okay, so we are actually, we're going to HP attack Warrior of Light. We don't want him to be using his shields. It looks like he used it on Squall, but that's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and see Spark Strike with Lightning. Nice. And then we're gonna go ahead and use Umbral Ice with Papalimo. Alright, so now we have just a basic mob of 2 skeletons, and I believe that's a Goblin Mage. Again, nothing too threatening. Okay, and you guys are noticing we are getting a Brave regen on my Papalimo because we do have his Umbral Ice stance activated, which is pretty cool. Ooh, looks like we're going to be facing Garland now. Okay. Alright, so what are we going to do against you, Mr. Garland? Alright, so he doesn't resist anything, which is cool. Helps us out a little bit. Let's go ahead and use Spark Strike with Lightning, which puts her in the Ravager stance. And then we're going to use Concentration Fang. And then let's go ahead and check out her Flourish of Steel. There we go, that looks pretty cool. And then with Cyan, we're going to go ahead and use his Bushido Fang. Papalimo, we're just going to use a Brave attack. I don't want to get broken. Okay, so it looks like Garland has a multi-hit Brave attack. Let's check out Bushido Dragon. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. I like that animation. Let's check out Astral Fire. Nice. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and finish off Garland this next turn with Lightning, and we have our summon ready. But remember, when you use your summon, Dark Bahamut is gonna counter you, so you wanna be aware of that. Oh, it looks like we have a new animation here. They're running. Ooh, there he is, Dark Bahamut. Okay, so you gotta be aware of his 2 AoE attacks that also deal HP damage, and it looks like he's targeting everybody. So we're just gonna do standard Brave attacks here, and remember, he resists all elements. And he is countering Papalimo because he deals magic Brave attack. Let's just, yeah, we're gonna go with that. And if we have to bring Squall in, if things get a little tight, we're gonna bring Squall in. And there it is. So that's his Flare Star. Alright, so now we're gonna go with some, we're gonna deal some HP damage now. Now he's only targeting one character. Okay. Let's go ahead and use Bushido Dragon. Nice. Let's use Spark Strike. He does resist it, but that's fine. Let's see. Papalimo is gonna be targeted, so I don't want him to get broken. And he's also gonna be eating some counter Mega Flare attacks. So you just want to be aware in this fight of who he's targeting, and if he's using all, make sure to keep your Brave high, because that's where you guys will be taking the most amount of damage. Let's go ahead and use his stance again, his Concentration Fang, and then we're going to go ahead and use Lightning's Flourish of Steel. Alright, so Papalimo, we're gonna be keeping him safe, keeping his Brave high. Ooh, he used 2 flares. Alright, now he's targeting everybody, so you gotta be prepared for this. He's gonna be doing an AoE attack. Alright, now he's using Mega Flare. And that animation looks pretty sick. Oof, okay. So it looks like he does a fixed amount of damage as far as the HP attack, so... As long as we're aware of our HP values, we should be okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and go with the offensive. Let's just go ahead and use Umbral Ice. Looks like this Mohammed is almost dead. And then we're gonna just go ahead and summon brothers here. Let's use Flourish of Steel. And finish off Dark Bahamut. Alright guys, well I hope you guys enjoyed that video, showing a little bit of some gameplay from Chapter 8 from the final boss fight. Again, we should be getting this piece of content in Global around Thursday. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see these 3 characters as well as his new bosses, a new chapter that we finally get to see in the world of Opera Omnia. Alright guys, I am 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Stay tuned for my next video, and mahal everyone.